WAPL Mornings with Laura Lee and Cutter.
Hello.
That image for your Zoom is way better than the image I have for my Zoom.
What is that?
Badass Dave Mustaine. The image for your static picture for your Zoom, you know,
Oh,
yeah, you on stage playing the Flying V. I love it.
okay. Thanks.
You're welcome, Dave. Dave Mustaine. It's good to see you, man. Thank you for doing this.
Of course.
Laura Lee is with too. She is the co-host for our morning show on WAPL. Obviously, we will run this on my
Hello.
syndicate talk show as well. So
Laura Lee.
there we
Nice
go.
to meet you.
Now-
It's nice to meet you too. How's your
Uh,
morning for everybody?
Good.
Well, you've been
Where
up
you
since
guys
3
at?
a.m. Yeah.
Where you guys at?
We are in Northeast Wisconsin, Green Bay, Appleton, that area.
Ah, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Minnesota fan, so I had to watch Darnold win the cup without us.
You had to watch what?
I had to watch Darnold win the cup without us since I'm a Minnesota fan and he was a
Oh,
Viking
yeah.
last year.
I didn't hear the Darnold part.
Oh yeah.
I just I'm happy for John Schneider, who grew up in Green Bay.
Oh.
General
Cool.
manager. That part's kind of cool. You know, give the local tie.
Mhm.
I enjoy that. No Megadeth on the halftime show. I was hoping for it. Didn't happen.
You know, I heard Jay-Z owns the rights to the halftime show. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Rock
the one.
Nation.
Yeah, Rock Nation is the producer of the halftime show.
Oh, it's the producer. He doesn't own the show.
No, they collaborated with the
My
NFL.
glasses just broke. Can you believe that?
What?
Holy crap. Hang on a
power of
second.
Laura
I gotta go get a new
right
pair
there.
of glasses. 1 second.
All right, no
All right.
problem. Go ahead.
Sorry, I broke his glasses.
I can't believe you broke his glasses.
It's a superpower.
He saw you and was like, "Glasses are broken."
Like I would love to be Invisible Woman or be able to fly or anything like that. But no, I break glasses. That's my superpower.
That's the superpower. I'm going to leave this all in this conversation.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Like you talking about your superpower, breaking glasses.
Hmm.
I also like Dave's chair. Look at that. That's nice. I'll get one of those chairs.
Dave's got a lot of nice things.
He does have a lot of nice things.
Okay, sorry. I am so
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
That's so unprofessional of me. I should have been ready.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Please.
We just decided Laura Lee's superpower is breaking glasses now.
Yeah, not invisibility or super strength. It's breaking glasses from afar. So
You know, I thought I had a hair tickling my face because, you know, when I get up, if I don't have time to let my hair dry, it looks like a bowl of spaghetti. So I tuck it up under a beanie sometimes, and I felt something on my cheek, like a hair sticking down, and I looked, it's like, oh my God, it's hard to be cool with your glasses hanging off your face broken.
You start a whole new trend, Dave. Why not?
Yeah, all right.
Put it on TikTok and
What
somebody
up,
will enjoy
Chris?
it.
I'm about to.
Let's talk Megadeth. On the day that we were having this conversation, breaking down the fourth wall a little bit, a lot of these do get pre-recorded, but on the day that we were having this conversation, it is National Guitar Day, so it is a pretty good opportunity to talk to Dave Mustaine. I feel like one of the best guitar players in the history of the guitar.
I've heard that.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. That's the thing that I feel like gets underrated sometimes as the front man of the metal band. Actually, hold on. Are you still trying to fix the other glasses?
No, I'm listening. Yeah, because these are prescriptions, so I'm not going to throw them away.
Well, no,
No.
of course not.
Mm-mm.
As the front man of, obviously one of the most well-regarded thrash metal bands in history, really, to be the singer and the guitar player, as good of a guitar player as you can be, and has so many riffs and all that stuff. How difficult is it to play that and sing it at the same time? That's my question.
It's hard. It is hard. And I think in the beginning there was a little bit of some sarcasm with me saying, it's just mind over matter, but it's hard. Especially when you got to do it in concert and people are watching.
Right?
It's different when you're sitting down and you're in your sweatpants and your hoodie and you're practicing. But man, when you get out in front of people, it's showtime.
You got
Huh?
to do it no matter what.
Yeah, and it reminds me of one time I did the national anthem for Major League Baseball for the Home Run Derby, and I said I would do it if they gave me an autographed home run ball by Mark McGuire because this was before we found out that he was um, allegedly using steroids, and a lot of those balls weren't legit. So. I went there and they didn't have the stuff that I needed to play. So we're at a baseball field trying to put together this setup. We don't have a proper guitar chord, so we're monkeying, rigging a microphone cord and trying to turn it into a guitar chord. And then I go out there to do a little sound check, and it's like, where's the guitar strap? Oh, we didn't get one. What? I'm supposed to stand here with a flying V without a guitar strap? So I go out there, and right as I was getting ready to go, a string broke. Now I learned the national anthem, but I'm playing a guitar that's got a wang bar on it. So the wang bar makes all the other guitar strings go out of tune. So now I've got to play this, remember the melody, skip a string, and bend every note up to pitch. And I go out there to go sit down on the flight case that I had put at home plate when I first did it, and they had moved the case. So now I'm standing at home plate, and I go, screw it. And I get down on my knees, and I start playing the national anthem. And I was almost okay until the cameraman came up to me. He's going up next to me and zooming in and like this with the camera. And I'm looking at him going, I'm going to kill you. So I've had my share of distractions playing and trying to do my job.
Did you nail it? Did you hit it?
I think I did okay. I didn't miss any notes, but boy, it was hard.
Because I've played the national anthem on guitar at a sporting event, and the first time I did it, I absolutely, it was horrible. It was horrendous. I missed an entire section of the song. It was like four notes, but I missed, the one section leading up to the crescendo at the end, and my mind blank. I'm like, I don't remember how to play that part all of a sudden. What just happened?
Yeah.
Did it again a year later, and it was all right, but. That's a difficult one. Dave Mustaine joining us. Megadeth, self-titled new album. It's the final one.
17 albums later.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, Dave, and I don't expect you to remember this because you talk to a million people every day. But 20 years ago, I actually interviewed you, and it was about when when you decided to return Megadeth to the world after Megadeth was supposed to retire and be done. So 20 years later, here we are. You're doing it for real this time.
Yeah, it's actually 25 years. So
25.
That all went down in 2001, and I had Saturday night palsy in my left arm. I'd fallen asleep on it, and it cut off the circulation to the nerve, and the nerve it didn't get any blood or any signals from the brain, and it just died. So we had to go through all kinds of PT and everything. That was brutal. That was brutal.
Horrible.
Did that change? You've got your 17th album out now, Megadeth. Did that change how you had to approach creating this album at all, or no?
Well, no. The guitar playing. What happened to this hand? This finger's permanently numb. This one's numb right down the middle because it has the nerve had gotten compressed in my right here on the inside of my bicep. I put my arm over the back of a chair like this. People do it all the time, right? Mm-hmm. I fell asleep like that, and that's when it happened.
That's how that happened?
Yeah, real simple. And so it took 17 months of not playing guitar for my nerve to grow back, and this finger doesn't go where it's supposed to naturally. I can't really think where it's going to as easily as the other fingers do. So it's just a little bit of some adjusting, I imagine if you want to do anything bad enough, you're going to be able to overcome anything.
That's true. That's a good message. I didn't realize it was that bad that long. That's wild.
Yeah.
Um, Listening to the new album, you would never know. The guitar playing's on point. I mean, I kind of made a point of that saying that earlier, but even with the song "The Art of Shredding," or "The Art of Shred," sorry, excuse me, "Art of Shredding." That's a Pantera song.
Let there be shred.
Yeah, or "Let There Be Shred." See, I'm getting my metal songs confused about shredding guitars now at this point in time. But I played that song even on the morning show a few times now at this point. And you listen, it is an exercise in heavy metal guitar. The whole album is. It's impressive that at this point in your career you can still pull that off and be able to sing over all that and all that stuff. What made you decide though that officially this is it, that this is the last album and you're going on a world tour and then we're done?
It's just problems with my hands. And, I've had cancer. I've had my neck fused together. We were just talking about Saturday Night Palsy. I've got a bunch of damage to my back. I broke a bone in my back. Not broken, fractured a bone in my back from riding a stupid horse down in Buenos Aires that I didn't know. I didn't know the horse. So, of course, the horse and we didn't have any, syncopation. There was no harmony between us riding, and I hit the saddle hard and broke a bone in the base of my back. So it's hard to get around. I don't like having to eat aspirin every day, but I'm sure my liver's probably saying enough, man. Just stop playing. So we had gone through a couple of weeks of really intense playing in the studio because Timo lives in Sweden, and he's a Finnish guy who lives in Sweden, and he was coming over for a week, 2 weeks at a time, and we would just have these marathons. And I've already got the Jupiter's thing in the inside of my hand here going on, and then I was born without cartilage in the tips of my fingers here, so. That's already hurting when I fret, and then I've got arthritis in my fingers. So it's playing for me. When I get on stage, the adrenaline takes over, and I don't think about it. I don't really feel it. But the next day, it's like wow. I feel like I've been catching bullets with my hands.
Yeah. You do highlight the cancer diagnosis. I was reading a little bit about your upcoming memoir, My Darkest Hour. So it says that it kind of details that part of your life and your career. Is there there's like another story in there that you've been wanting to share with fans that they might be surprised by in the new
About
memoir?
the cancer.
Well,
About
no,
the cancer.
I know that the book kind of highlights or kind of focuses on, it's supposed to. That's what I had read up about. But what else is the memoir going to detail as far as because you've had a few now.
Yeah.
You gotta look me up.
Yeah. Two. Well, what I would say probably is the best way to summarize the book is it's the medical process, and then what life was like at that time, and getting into the details, because I would go and get radiation and like chemotherapy, and then I would go to the studio and work. And some days I would get to the studio and we'd play, and I'd have to run outside and throw up and go back inside and play, and lost a lot of weight. And fortunately for me, I had Dirk there and Chris Rakestraw was there, and they were supportive, and I got through it. I mean, I wouldn't want to go through it again. I imagine that if I, I'm in remission right now. I've been for about 6 years. I imagine if anything happens again, I'm going to have the same mentality about it. Because when I went in there, I thought, I'm going to kill cancer. And the one that was in me, I was so pissed. Because I used to always joke around, anything that got in my body would die. and um, we caught it early and went through all of the treatment. But because I'm a singer, we had to do things totally different. We had to focus differently with the radiation, and if it would have been off by even a millimeter, you know, that's it for Dave.
The fact that we even have a 17th album from you, Dave. I mean, you've been through so much and you've just kept going. That's amazing. I mean, a lot of people in your situation would have probably just given up, you know. That's a lot to go through. So
Thank you. Yeah, it is. But you know what? I think that's that musician. You know, there's a lot here. Here's what I've been saying a lot. You know, there are people who can pick up an instrument and make some sounds out of it, and they start saying, and you know these guys, they start saying, "Yeah, I'm a musician." Well, yeah, you are. You're a beginner, and then they'll say they got a band. You know, it's just one person. Yeah, I got a band. It's called Dead Doorknobs, and we're gonna be touring. You know, who's in your band? Oh, it's just me right now. Yeah. And then you have like a real band. You know, what is a real band made up of? Well, it's probably four musicians, and then you find a band that is a band with some potential. They usually have a star in the band, one, and that guy usually goes on to bigger and better things, and the other three are their friends or in-laws or something, and those bands usually don't make it. You make it when you get in a band that has a lot of stars in it, you know. Very rarely do you have a band that has a superstar in it, right?
Yeah.
And when you have a band that's got two superstars in it, like say for example, John Lennon and Paul McCartney, there usually is fights. That was what the atmosphere was like when I was in early Metallica. James and I, you know, we were what we are now, but we were just cutting our teeth when we met each other. So I think that's really important when you get in a band. If you're a good musician, keep practicing. Go to school. If you're in school right now, don't quit. You need to know numbers for money first off. You need to know it for decibels, which is volume. You need to know it for frequencies, and then all of the different settings on all of the gear has numbers. So I would never encourage anybody to leave school and get in a band and get in a bus and go around and travel the world, because it'll be very short-lived. You'll get screwed by somebody and you'll find out that you hate what you just did. If you have an education and you're really learning your craft and the industry that you're in, you know, you may be around 17 records later and have a number one and a Grammy and a platinum record and gold records and all that stuff. But you have to be teachable.
I love that. That's great advice. Great advice from Dave Mustaine. Listen, I know our time's going to run out here, but really quick before we go, it is a number one album. Megadeth, self-titled, hitting number one, the first number one in Megadeth's history on the Billboard 200 chart, which is awesome and should be applauded, especially in a day and age where we don't sell a lot of albums these days. So that's amazing in of itself. The album ends with a cover of Ride the Lightning, but before it, the song before the last note is an incredible song to end an album with, and then it goes in to a cover of Ride the Lightning, which I thought was just such an interesting way. And I know you've talked about Ride the Lightning 1,000 times already since it was announced you were doing it and since the album came out a few weeks ago. But putting those two songs together actually has a whole different connotation to it when you listen to it back to back.
Right. It's not a cover. I don't identify it as that. I look at it like it's a new version of it because it's my song. You know, I wrote that with James, so I wouldn't expect James to call that a cover. That's one of the things that I feel good about, because I was reluctant. honestly. I figured that there'd be a lot of naysayers, and when you do a song, you know, whether it's a new version or if it's covering somebody else's material, it you have to do it as good as the original or better.
Right.
And you know, it was a daunting task to try and make Ride the Lightning better than it was. So we looked at the three main things. There was the voice, the solos, and the tempo. So we sped the song up. At the very end of the song, there's a bunch of drum fills that Lars did, and I told Dirk, who's a master on the drums, I said, go to town. And the drum fills are different at the end. The singing, James and I have very unique but instantly identifiable voices, and they're not at all alike, but they're very unique. And listening to James, studying his voice was different. I've never really studied his voice before, and that was really neat. And then the solo, you know, if we covered Kirk's solo, that would be us covering a guy covering my solo when we first wrote the song, which was kind of hard to get my head around. So we honored Kirk, and we still spiced the solo up a little bit more. So I think it's a fitting version of the song, and I want to tell you thank you for talking with me this morning, and thanks to all the Wisconsin fans and all your listeners, and thank you too, Laura.
Thank
Lee.
you, Dave. Yeah.
Dave, you're the best. We appreciate you a lot.
You got it, Cutter. Looking forward to seeing you when we're in town. Come see us. We'll have a beer or a cup of coffee, and we'll pick up where we left off. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm into that.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Dave. Take care, man.
Bye-bye.